So my name got called, right? So they called my name, and I got up to go. And then when I was getting up to go, my mother looks at me. Oh, should I come too? Well, I don't know, maybe. And then, at the same time they called this other lady named Deborah. She was in a wheelchair. Hospitals make me feel really uncomfortable. I really don't like the atmosphere of it. I wouldn't even work in the hospital, never let's go to one. But if it's something serious, I will go. But usually I wouldn't. No, I wouldn't mess with a hospital. No, not at all. So my name got called, and Deborah, who was in the wheelchair, I feel sorry for her, like her condition. It was worse. I know it had to be worse than mine. I realized I was not the worst one in shape. So they took her up, and as they went up, I followed them too. My mother finally came with me. Finally realized that maybe it was a smart idea to tag along. So went up there, and then we was walking down this long hallway. It was like death row. I swear, it was like death row. You know, you see like a bunch of people there, people laying in the hospital. I'm pretty sure one bedroom had a serial killer in it. So when I walked by, he's like looking at me with like this stalkish kind of glare. He's like, and I was like, yeah, what is that guy on? So I kept going, and so they dropped Deborah off first. And then it's like, all right, Xavier, your room next. So I was in room 13. You know, that's kind of ironic. Room 13. I was fucking scared as shit. I almost shitting myself when he said that. Room 13. And then so we went in the room, and then and there he started saying some other stuff. I don't know. I think I blacked out at that point from the hospitalness. Oh yeah, I remember sitting down on the bed, of course, the bed. So I sat down on the bed, and then that's when I started getting all these other nurses and stuff walking in there, asking me the same damn questions I've been answering since I first walked in the fucking hospital. No, it's I know I just really hate repeating the same thing over and over. It was like redundant out the ass. I had to repeat why I was here again, what the reasons were, what was I feeling. I mean, I had to do this like at least 6 times that day. It just really pissed me off that I had to keep repeating that. I figured they would have kept up with the charts and looked at them, or maybe it was like trying to get a scam. Say, oh, he lied to me. He didn't say that to me. He said that to you. Well, this guy told me that. No, that couldn't have been. It was this one he told me. I guess that's the scheme they're trying to pull here. And then, so this lady, I don't know her name, but here she was like telling me to give her my phone number and stuff, and all this stuff. House address, street address. She didn't ask for zip code though. No, we're in the same zip code, but yeah. And then so after that, she left with the stuff, social security number, blah 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 blah. She left. This other lady came in, and those gowns that people wear in the hospital where your back is just exposed. Yeah, I had to wear one of those. The lady walked in, and then she looked at me, looked at me, and then she looked at the gown, and then she looked at me again, and then she looked back at the gown, and she looked at me, and then she was like, "Can you put that on?" And I was like, "Do I really have to?" And she was like, "Yes." And I was like, "Oh, okay." You go to a doctor or hospital, the first thing they do is to tell you to strip once they get your information. No dinner first and nothing, no second date, just strip right off for them. That's what they just throw your clothes right off. So I lost my dignity for like 5 seconds in the hospital, and so yeah. So I put on the little gowny thingy, and and I sat back in the bed. And before when I was like putting it on, she was looking at me like all weird, like looking down at my chest. She was like this look, like I want you to take it off, but then I don't want you to take it off, but I want you to offer you. It was weird. And I was like covering it up and stuff, like pervert, but no. And then after that, I sat down and waited for a few more minutes, and so more doctors came in, nurses, and started asking me questions that I answered already. And it got real repetitive. This happened for like the next 5 minutes, kept answering the same questions, doing this. And then all of a sudden, this lady came in. Her name was Camille. She was a nice nurse. And she says, okay, Xavier, we're going to take your x-rays. So we walked down the hall, to get some x-rays taken. And the whole time my back is exposed. I'm like freaking cold as shit in the hospital. Thank you guys. And so we walked down to the hospital room. And it was really fun. It was like really ironic. It's like this little girl running around. And she had the same first name as my mother. I was like, weird. And so we walked into the x-ray room. And they took my x-rays. And this guy was in charge of the x-rays. Camille left or whatever. She dipped. She was out. I was like, oh no, where you go? And so I sat down on the bed, the little x-ray bed thingy. He's all right, Sierra. Stay right there. I'm going to be with you in a minute. This guy looked at weird. He looked like someone off of Comedy Central. I was thinking Seth Rogen, but it wasn't Seth Rogen. It was someone else. It's hard to pinpoint it, but he looked just like someone. Maybe someone from the show Scrubs. You know, I was thinking Scrubs ever since I went to the hospital because I was watching that today. You know, they show like a marathon of Scrubs. And then after that, he finally got up. And he's like, all right, I'm going to do something with my fat ass. I shouldn't say that about people. And then he took me to my x-ray thing. So I leaned against the x-ray. And then, you know, took a x-ray of my chest here. And they found like some infection in it, you know, or well, I figured that. And then, so I got that. After that, I took the x-rays, sat down for a while. Then he's like, okay, you can go. The lady from before is going to escort you. I said, oh, Camille's coming back. Camilla. Am I saying her name right? And then so she came back. She walked me back to my room. I was like, so went back to my room. And then, in room 13, of course, sat down. She's all right. Stay right here. Wait, I think, yes. Wait, no. What the hell? I'm missing some important details somewhere in between here. Oh, yes. When I got back to my room, the guy with the machine was there, you know, to help me breathe or loosen up the phlegm in my chest. He said, hello, Xavier. I got the machine for you. I was like, thanks, man. And then so, you got it, the machine. I went on the machine. That's what you see at the beginning of the video. That's unless the video's in 2 parts. I don't know how many parts the video's going to be in. And so I sat there for a while, breathing in the air and whatever. It's like an asthma pump, but more efficient. And my mother was sitting there in the corner the whole time, talking to my brother, whatever. My brother was just laughing at my other YouTube video I made. And I was like, you know, I want to talk to him, even though I'm halfway dying over here. So I talked to him. He said, you all right, man? I was like, yeah, I'm all right, man. I'm all right. He said, damn, you don't look too good. I mean, you don't sound too good. I was like, yeah, man. It's happened every year, man. And then, you know, it was simple stuff. And then he's like, yo, I gotta go. No, I was like, wait, no, I was like, I gotta go. I'm confused here. So I gotta go. So I hand the phone back to him. Well, back to my mother. Damn it. What the fuck is wrong with me today? You know something's wrong with me when I'm wearing a freaking ITT Tech shirt. Something is definitely wrong with me.